And Clark. I mean, that's clearly...
Chennedy Carter has finally broken her silence about this Caitlin Clark situation.
I mean, that happens, man. Like, it's one of those things. I'm a great player. She's a great player. It looks a certain way. Everybody's going to have their views on it.
Oh, it's just part of basketball. That's not part of basketball, bro. What you did to Caitlin Clark, you can't justify that assault.
Carter is trying to justify what most fans saw as a blatant cheap shot, her infamous shoulder check on Caitlin Clark from June of last season. Meanwhile, as Clark gears up for her sophomore season and continues to dominate headlines, Chennedy's situation is completely different. Every major WNBA free agent has found a home, except her.
So she was signed to the Chicago Sky with Teresa Weatherspoon, with Angel Reese, with Camila Cardoso, and, the rest of the folks. And then we get to the body check.
And now, with the 2025 season just weeks away, Carter is scrambling to change the narrative. But the question remains, is this an honest explanation, or is she just trying to do damage control? Let's break it down.
Can you break down that situation that happened?
Yeah. So, in basketball a little bit, there's things called talking, what you like to call smack or whatever everybody likes to call it.
Yeah.
Plays before things are said, that's a part of basketball.
Carter had stayed silent for months. Remember when she was first asked about the incident in a press conference? She shut it down, saying she wasn't going to comment on Caitlin Clark.
So we know Chennedy Carter has always been kind of up against the fence when speaking about this Caitlin Clark situation. We remember when she first got asked about this during a press conference, she stated that she wasn't going to speak on Caitlin Clark. Now we know months later, she still hasn't spoken on the whole situation. That is until today. Yes, Chennedy Carter finally broken her silence about the Caitlin Clark hip check.
Flashback to that moment. Caitlin Clark had just scored, and Chennedy Carter made no effort to get back on defense. Instead, she veered across the court and delivered a hard, deliberate shoulder check to Clark, completely away from the ball. No reason, no basketball justification, just a direct hit.
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter.
The foul was initially ruled as an off-ball personal, but after officials reviewed the footage, they upgraded it to a flagrant. And once the replays aired, it was clear to everyone, this wasn't an accident. It was targeted, it was personal, and it crossed the line.
It's one thing pushing Caitlin Clark, and it's another thing blindsiding her. Like, I don't think there's no justification for that. Like, to be honest, we can be honest here.
Caitlin Clark's reaction, on the other hand, said everything about her character. She didn't make a scene. She didn't argue. She didn't throw shade. She just got up, shook it off, and moved on to the next play. Meanwhile, fans and media exploded. People weren't just mad, they were concerned. This wasn't competitive play. It was a calculated attempt to send a message. And in a league that's finally earning mainstream respect and attention, many questioned what kind of message that really sends.
Now, what little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where you're targeted like that? How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the court? It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap opera.
Carter's record didn't help either. This wasn't her first time in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Back in 2021, while playing for the Atlanta Dream, she was suspended indefinitely for what the team described as conduct detrimental to the team. Reports at the time pointed to a fiery outburst that escalated well beyond what's acceptable.
Atlanta Dream did suspend her in the middle of the sophomore season, basically saying she was a detriment to the team and the team culture. So then the Atlanta Dream decided to trade her to the Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks.
Fast forward to now, and the WNBA is riding a wave of momentum. New TV deals, soaring ticket sales, rising stars like Caitlin Clark. And at a time when professionalism is more important than ever, Carter's behavior has stood out in the worst possible way.
What's crazy about all of this, immediately after that push, this is what she said to the media.
Kind of on the play before bumping in with Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit after the fever
I didn't
score.
answer no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
After the Clark hit, Carter faced the media a gay thing they've been. When asked about it, her answer? No Caitlin Clark questions. No accountability. No ownership. Now, she's finally talking. But instead of apologizing or explaining with sincerity, Carter's recent interview with streamer Neon paints a very different picture.
I think a play before, maybe I was elbowed. Okay, that happens. Think the next play down, maybe something was said. And then maybe there was like a little clip of somebody like yelling in my face. And then we go down the court. Then I hit like a little bucket, you feel me? Come down, hit like a little nice little mid-range pull up. And then I just like, just give her like a little like, I'm here. Like, I don't think it was, what's crazy? Me and my brother went back and watched, and we seen a lot of clips in the NBA of guys getting like pushing LeBron. Like, I think it was Jeff Teague or somebody who like pushed LeBron out of bounds, like said, man, I was mad because like we couldn't stop him.
Really? She compares it to clips she and her brother watched of NBA players pushing LeBron James out of bounds. Like that somehow makes it okay. Like saying, we couldn't stop him so we shoved him, is supposed to justify what happened. But come on, we've all seen the footage. There's nothing casual about what Carter did. That wasn't a nudge. That was a deliberate full-body blindside hit after the play.
She did. She stopped and went through. Like, that is not... We watched the clip. There is no way that we're letting this happen. Like, saying that it was nothing, like this is not just a tap.
And now she's adding new details, things that were never mentioned before. Now she says maybe she was elbowed earlier in the play. Maybe someone yelled in her face. Suddenly all these maybes are appearing out of nowhere.
So I'm just like, it's like one of those things like it happens in basketball. I know people try to say, it's not one of those things.
It's not a personal thing, it's a competitive thing.
It happens in basketball and like it's just one of those things. But like, yeah, it's kind of what happened, then it spiraled out of control.
And then the media takes whatever narrative they want to put out.
You watch every game, every single game to see if you can find any deflects in my game, and like, it's really nothing that you probably could say too much about. So then you have trolls, and that's why I said they're gonna be around regardless. But yeah, it was just like a nice little like tap, like I'm here, not to like harm you or anything. If you want to push somebody, you're gonna like full force.
But again, the video shows none of that. No elbow, no screaming in her face, just Carter scoring a bucket, then walking across the court and checking Caitlin Clark without any basketball purpose.
I mean, that happens, man. Like, it's one of those things. I'm a great player, she's a great player. It looks a certain way. Everybody's gonna have their views on it. But my personal view is, I don't have anything against her. She's a great player, and so am I. And I've got buckets all that season, you know what I'm saying? So just one of those things that, I love it though. They think I hate it, I love it. I love when it gets riled up and juicy like that.
You feed off of like what people say and shit, and it makes you more motivated.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Oh yeah, I love the hate. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Carter still hasn't owned what she did. Instead of taking responsibility, she's blaming Clark, the media, and haters. She calls it talking smack, a little tap, a basketball moment, and then turns around and acts like she was the real victim of the narrative.
Oh, it's just part of basketball. That's not part of basketball, bro. What you did to Caitlin Clark, you can't justify that assault.
What makes this all hit harder is the moment in time the WNBA is currently in. This is the league's biggest growth era ever. Ratings, sponsorships, merch sales, attendance, everything is blowing up. There's more attention than ever before, and the league is laser focused on protecting that momentum. The WNBA is making moves, and they're not letting players jeopardize that momentum. Not now. There are even whispers that the league might tighten its player conduct rules, all sparked by incidents like Carter's. And honestly, that would send a clear message. If you can't represent the league in the right way, you don't belong. And then there's the story that happened after the Clark hit, another sign of deeper problems. During a game, Chennedy Carter reportedly got into it with her own teammate, Courtney Williams. According to reports, she was so heated that she wanted to physically fight her mid-game. Williams refused to engage, but it was serious enough that Carter got sent back to the locker room. It didn't get physical, but it was close enough that they had to separate them. That wasn't just about competitiveness. That was about instability. And teams around the league are taking notice. This whole situation isn't just a one-off anymore. It's a pattern. A resume of behavior that's making front offices nervous. Sure, other players have made mistakes, but the difference? They owned it. They apologized, made amends, and proved they could grow. Carter? She stayed quiet for months, then delivered a half-hearted justification just days before training camps. And the league? It's responded with silence. 12 teams, not one offer, not one tryout, not even a rumor. That's not punishment. That's a verdict. The WNBA isn't just saying, that play was wrong. They're saying, you're not showing us you belong here right now. And when you think about how many teams are looking for guards, how rare scoring talent is, this silence is deafening. It's gone too far, and no one wants the risk. Because basketball is bigger than scoring. It's about chemistry, culture, and trust. Coaches and execs can't build a contender with someone who might blow up the locker room or put the franchise in the headlines for the wrong reasons. This is a team sport, and the WNBA? They're all about building something bigger. So as the league gets ready for its most anticipated season ever, the contrast couldn't be more clear. Elevating the league, attracting fans, bringing professionalism. On the outside looking in, stuck in controversy, unable to shake off her own choices. This isn't just about one incident anymore, the narrator concludes. It's about everything Carter represents, and the league saying, not now. So what do you think? Does Carter deserve a second chance? Or is the WNBA making the right call by moving forward without her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Click the next video on your screen, and we'll see you there.